Good evening and welcome to Wareham Stadium, home of the Herkimer Generals. We are proud to present the match between visiting Albany Alleycats and your United Elite Krajisnik Football Club Women's Pro Team, while also honoring and remembering the life of number 19, Christine Cochran. We will pause for the first 19 seconds of the match for a moment of silence. In the meantime, the following are your starting lineups. For the visiting Albany Alleycats, led by Coach Bourgeois and Kinsella. Number 9, Callie Agostino. Number 7, Julia Bencheri. Number 12, Madeline Barbera. Number 5, Mariana Chudi. Number 2, Katie Gappa. Number 10, Catherine Groff. Number 19, Marissa Krosky. Number 11, Maisie Neville. Number 18, Lucy Batimo. Number 27, Anna Zito. And starting goaltender for the Albany Alleycats, number 0, Kinley Loxton. And now let's make some noise for your United Elite Krajisnik Football Club. Number 80, Emma Belinsky. Number 14, Paige Cornish. Number 30, Kendall Decker. Number 5, Lydia DeTraglia. Number 22, Grace Engelbert. Number 5, Jessica Gale. Number 21, Gente Mateo. Number 11, Molly Reed. Number 17, Lydia Reimer. Number 10, Ava Wierzinski. And your starting goaltender, Mackenzie Roth. Your United Elite Krajisnik Women's Pro Team is led by none other than head coach Davian Dita Bailey. All rise and please remove your caps as we play our national anthem.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Greg Fanning with the United Elite Krajisnik Football Club YouTube Broadcasting Network. As we present to you the match between the Albany Alleycats and the United Elite Krajisnik Football Club Women's Pro Team. This is their this is their last home game here at Wareham Stadium as this season starts to wind down. We've had a very, very short season, only 6 games, and 4 of them have already been played. Tonight is going to be a night of mixed emotions as we present this final home game for Krajisnik. The Western New York Division is being controlled by the visiting Albany Alleycats, with Krajisnik coming into tonight's match in 3rd place in the division. And as the season comes to a close, Krajisnik is in a must-win game situation both tonight, but also for their final game against the Fox Albany coming up next week. So as we see, the Albany Alleycats are 3-0-1, and Krajisnik comes in tonight 4 games played with a 2-win, 1 loss, and 1 draw game. And we're doing a moment of silence for one of our fallen soccer players who played for both UPSL Krajisnik as well as the Albany Alleycats. Christine Cochran was one of our own. So emotions are running high. Christine was well loved and known throughout the soccer community as we get started here after our moment of silence. Not only was she an ASO coach, but she was also a coach for many different school programs, and I was honored to sponsor the team that she played on. As the Alleycats have a shot go off, and looks like a goal kick for Krajisnik early. Mackenzie Raw taking control of that, but I was honored to sponsor the championship team that Christine was a part of. And one thing that I'll always remember is she said that she towards the latter part of her career, she said, I just can't keep up with these young kids anymore. But you know what? I watched many of her matches. And boy, oh boy, I got to tell you, she handled her own, and she was able to compete at a very, very high level for a very long time. And it's unfortunate that our soccer community lost such a great pioneer, both coaching-wise and player-wise. So tonight we honor her, and we honor the memory of her, and celebrating her life as we take the pitch here. We're a minute 41 in. As Krajisnik and Albany Alleycats go head-to-head here. So Albany has already gotten a shot on goal, and Mackenzie had to make that play. Sunshine getting in her eyes right now. As Albany crosses that ball in, Mackenzie gobbles that up. Opening shot by Katie Kappa. Katie's shot, as I said, was taken care of by Mackenzie Roth, thrown out into the middle. Krajisnik taking control of the defensive end here, and trying to feed the ball up. Ava Wierzinski playing on far side, playing up in that striker position. You can always pick her out. She's got that pink headband on. Very, very quick and very strong player on the field. Molly Reed playing far side halfback. As through balls are coming through, and just goes out of bounds for Albany. So as Molly digs the ball out of the corner, we have a Krajisnik throw-in. So tonight, some festivities that are going to be done at halftime in honor of our fallen player. And we had the 19-second moment of silence at the beginning of kickoff. As we move forward, Krajisnik playing hard right now, trying to get the ball through this Albany midfield. Great tap off. Ball coming down to Lydia DiTraglia. Lydia coming up. She had Ava Wierzinski outside wide. Ball comes back to defense. Back up to Lydia. Lydia is very, very quick. She's very strong legs. Comes down with the trip, but no call from the referee. Lydia waiting for her player to get open. Plays the ball back. Paige Cornish on the outside. And we have a goal kick for Albany. Playing short. Pressure by Ava. Paige coming up. Feeds the ball right back in. A lot of communication from Krajisnik right now. Navigating the middle of the field, trying to find the open players. Jessica Gale poking that ball away from the middle. Albany coming looking for that through ball. Emma Belinsky playing hard. Playing that center back position, making sure that there was no accurate shot on goal. So now there's another goal kick for Mackenzie Roth. She has two short options. So she takes one to Emma. Emma Belinsky coming across. There's Molly Reed. Carrying the ball up. Really no pressure until the very end. Great through ball. Gente was not able to get there. And actually, Molly Reed was playing up on that. My bad. Ball comes back to Albany's goaltender. Quick cross. Lydia applies some pressure. So this is typically how these ladies start the game out. Crisp passes. Feeling everybody out, feeling the opposition out. These teams are not, they've played many times against each other, so they are well known. There are no real surprises. And Krajisnik gets another throw-in. Ball thrown into Grace Engelbert. Albany intercepted that pass, but Ava is very quick. Comes all the way up to the goalie, to the top of the 18. Applies that pressure. Paige using the body. Shields out. Emma with a quick pass into the middle. Right now, Grace is having a couple of issues with trying to get to the passes. A little flat-footed right now, but again, these teams are just warming up. Albany building out of the back. Gets the ball up to Katie Gappa, who had that opening shot on goal. Interception in the middle, but could not get to Ava. Albany going out wide. Madeline Barbera trying to control that ball out there and receive the through ball. And Albany is called offsides. Great play in the middle. Emma Belinsky with the pass out to Paige Cornish, out to Lydia. Ball poked away. Lydia with the quick throw in. Leaves it for Paige. Great control. Right in the middle, fighting for that ball. Two Alleycats crashing down. Communication. Here comes Lydia. Now Krajisnik comes back, covers, makes 3 back. Emma Belinsky coming across. Here comes Gappa. Emma's right there. Paige covers. Great defense. We expect nothing less for this Krajisnik group. Great through ball. Unfortunately, couldn't get there. Krosky coming up through the middle, trying to hit her strikers and her power forwards. Here comes Engelbert again. Ball taken away. Gappa in the middle. Nobody's really forcing anything. Looking for that through ball. Down into the bottom corner. Augustino with the shot and a block. Trying to clear the zone. Groth came up, took control of that ball, and airmailed it. That'll make it out of bounds. And Krajisnik throwing. Albany with an opportunity down in the deep within the 18. Coming across again, and that's a goal kick. Roth out wide. Here comes Gente. Gente tried to make that reverse turn and was beaten, but still Krajisnik throwing. So both teams evenly played right now. Just trying to figure it all out. A lot of bunching on that side. Krajisnik going to look to cross the field if possible and switch the field. Alleycats with the quick throw-in. Ref didn't like something. So it ends up being an illegal throw-in. Mateo with the long throw to Wierzinski. And here comes the speed of Wierzinski, cutting all the way across. DeChaglia. Wierzinski back through. Pressure all on the goaltender for Albany. Logston just barely got that ball by Wierzinski. And now there's a chase. Belinsky comes out. Roth with a little bit of a miss-hit. But handles her business. She certainly did not want to go into a position where there was going to be a shot. Ball comes out, Chap to the middle. Augustino still controlling the ball. Shot on goal, and Mackenzie Roth with the save. So Albany is going to have a corner kick. Roth with a great save off of the shot from Augustino. Just pokes that ball right over the top crossbar. So we remain 0-0 as we hit our 14th minute of this match. Ball comes in off of the corner. And out. Not a lot of mustard with that hit. Not sure if it was a miss hit or not. But the end result is just the same. Krajisnik trying to spread the field. Ball coming out to DeTaglia. She couldn't handle that one. So Alleycat throw in. Page with a volley. Cornish with the throw in on the near side. Goes back to Belinsky. To Cornish. Back through into the middle. To Decker. Ball comes up through. Rzinski right there. Engelbert in the middle, working again. Rzinski trying to control. Little hold there that the ref didn't think was worthy of a foul. So here comes Lydia. She's got the ball out wide, coming down close to the 18, looking for that cross. Cross comes in, blocked, and saved by Loxton. Gente Mateo was on the far side over by the back line. Ball comes through. She's right there, and she is ready to pounce. And Molly Reed lets that one go out. Molly launches one right into the middle. Krajisnik controlling the middle on that one. Engelbert lobs one in. Mateo at the top of the box. And Wierzinski coming in, pressuring down on the goaltender. Loxton with her launch, her drop kick. Engelbert right there. Belinsky with the bicycle kick. There's a lot of speed out there for Albany. That ball is dying. We're not sure. Oh, she saved it. So now there's an opportunity for Albany. Down deep in the Krajisnik defensive box. Number 19 standing right there. Shot on goal. Saved by Roth. Number 19, Krosky, had that shot. And Roth just pokes it wide. So Albany now has a corner kick. That ball came right into the middle. And if it wasn't for Paige Cornish, Krosky would have had a lot more of an opportunity to pick and choose where that shot would have gone. Here comes the corner into the box. Roth with the save. Flying around there like Superwoman right now. Keeping this a 0-0 tie. Ball comes down. Rzinski trying to fight that off. Mateo with a little bit of pressure. Here comes Rzinski. Roth for Albany. Back to Gappa. That's a launch. Out comes Roth. Takes control. Lobs it right back in. Reimer had the ball there. Here comes Mateo with a little bit of pressure. DeTaglia playing space. Splitting the difference of that triangle by Albany. Page pressuring Gappa. Another through ball. So right now it's evident that Albany wants to control the middle of the field and then feed it right through that defensive line. trying to hit runners for Albany, for the Alleycats. And so far they haven't been able to gauge just how hard they got to hit that ball on this Wareham Stadium field. But there's a reason why they're in first place, and they'll figure it out pretty quick. So Krajisnik needs to handle their business and get started here, because right now Albany has control. Krajisnik is playing reactive style soccer versus proactive style soccer. Nice ball coming out. Engelbert hitting DeTaglia, going up the sideline. Fancy footwork she's working out there. She's trying to beat him out. Back to DeTaglia. DeTaglia out to Page, Cornish. Here comes Engelbert. The ball goes out of bounds, so Krajisnik with a throw in deep in the offensive zone. Looks like Belinsky and Decker are the primary and secondary defenders in the middle of the field right now at the Herkimer Generals logo. And right now, Albany making a substitution. Agostino has come off of the field. We're waiting to see a number here. Looks like number 4. So Jordan Chrysler has been subbed in. And looks like Callie Agostino has come off of the field. Albany Alleycat substitution. Number 4, Jordan Chrysler, coming in for number 9, Callie Agostino. So after the substitution, Krajisnik with the throw-in. Actually, it was offsides. They called offsides, so Molly Reed has a free hit here. Molly airs one in for Ava. Brzezinski. Albany Alleycats with the throw-in off of that play. Now there's some speed and some pressure. Engelbert trying to control. Here comes out to Page. Page brings it wide. That ball gets out of bounds. Just missed by Jordan Chrysler, who just came into the game. Chrysler covering the space in between DeTaglia and Page. Albany starting to play a lot closer, a lot more hip-to-hip, hip-to-hip type defense, making sure that they're able to control the pace. Long throw, DeTaglia right there. And mental moment there for Cornish. Thought that it was going to be Krajisnik ball. So Gappa feeds the ball into the middle for Bankari. Great interception. Here comes Brzezinski. Can she get there? Molly Reed on the outside. Reed with another throw-in. Quick throw in, back to Reed, out to Gente. Nobody in the middle. So great thought, but the inability to connect those passes and get those movements running. Here comes Cornish. Throw in for Albany. Great defensive play by Belinsky, getting to that ball first. Here comes Lydia. She's shielding beautifully in that box. Here comes Wrzinski. Dishes that ball off. Not enough gas on it, though. Intercepted by Albany. Reimer was not able to get there first. Those 50-50 balls are crucial, especially when you're playing in the neutral zone, because now, as you can see, there are only 3 Albany Alleycats back. Everybody else is on offense. And shot on goal. Not a great shot, but still a scoring opportunity by Albany. So winning those 50-50s are always very, very, very important. Doesn't matter if you're playing UPSL, you're playing your youth programs, it doesn't really matter. You got to win those 50-50s. Krajisnik playing some decent defense right now. Belinsky shielding that ball. So Krajisnik has been living in their end of the field, which is uncharacteristic for this group. Typically they're down in the offensive end quite a bit. DeTaglia, back to Cornish. Cornish across to Reimer. Reimer out to Belinsky. Belinsky to Decker. So here comes Albany. They've got Chrysler on the far side. Roth right in there, makes a beautiful play. Cornish with the free ball in the box. Krajisnik with the deflection. Still a live ball down in that bottom corner, so Krajisnik has to get that ball out. They put it right on the foot of an Albany Alleycat. Another pass into the middle. That ball is bouncing around like it's in an arcade, in a pinball machine. Coach Bailey on the other side doing a little bit of direction, but not a whole lot. Trying to help his ladies out. Good pressure in the middle. Shot by 27. Paige Cornish right there. There's Chrysler. And a foul called against Albany. Free kick for Krajisnik. Roth plays wide to Cornish. Back to Belinsky. Cross to Decker. Decker over wide to Reed. And back. So Krajisnik systematically, from just simple passes, bringing that ball up. But unfortunately, they lose possession again. So they have the opportunity to move that ball up the field, but they're losing it left and right off of their foot. Mateo's ready to launch another one. Let's see how far she puts this one. Right over to Reed. Reed immediately with pressure. Mateo sends the ball across. Wrzinski is not there. DeTaglia was not ready for it. And Albany is lobbing another one. Those two middle defensive center backs are going to have a lot of work to do tonight. Paige Cornish running wild, covering their backsides. DeTaglia is open right now as they come up the field. Comes DeTaglia down into the 18, looking for a cross or not scoring opportunity. Stops that ball cold. Good breaks. Oh, and almost a shot. Wrzinski. Two flubs right in a row there. But that's the closest Krajisnik has gotten this evening to a really good scoring opportunity. Two players right in the middle, Reimer in the middle and Wrzinski. And unfortunately, neither one of them could put a solid hit on the ball to try and get it past Loxton. So here comes Chrysler onto the ball, placed the ball back. DeTaglia right there, reading, scanning. Breakdown in communication. Krajisnik struggling with their communication right now. Assumptions, and here comes Gappa. Roth coming out. She's got to play the ball, puts it right back into the middle. No harm, no foul. Cornish feeding the ball off through the middle. Now to DeTaglia. DeTaglia back to Belinsky. Last time we saw these ladies, Belinsky was pivotal in feeding the ball into the offensive zone. Long passes, connecting those crisp passes, and was involved in a number of the goal-scoring opportunities for these ladies. So we'll see whether or not that can continue this evening against this first-place Albany Alleycat team. Krajisnik bringing the ball up. DeTaglia with it, receiving the pass from Gale, and then she comes right back into the middle again. Reimer is right there. Mateo on the outside. That ball is out of bounds. Krajisnik right now uncharacteristically running for their lives. Got to see if they can turn this around, take control. Nice ball from Reed to Mateo, but Mateo's not able to get there. Krajisnik still with the throw-in. Throw-in from Reed, bouncing through. Here comes Mateo. Mateo with the ball right into the middle. Krajisnik really needs to work on getting the ball off of that side. There's virtually nobody from Albany on the far side of the field, but here comes Chrysler. Cornish getting in the middle, and another shot that goes out of bounds behind the goalkeeper. So another goal kick for Krajisnik, but they really need to start getting that ball out of that scrum and that collapsing defense area that is going on the far side of the field right now. They cannot get the ball through that area. So it would be best suited for them to switch the field and put it over on the side where there aren't any Alleycats, and that might get them into the offensive zone. Chrysler with some pressure on Belinsky. Belinsky out to Cornish. Cornish with the turnover down in the offensive end. Ball goes into the middle. Krajisnik right there for defense. The ball goes out wide. Great block by Mateo. Krajisnik comes out. Decker fixing her shin guard back on the defensive line. Cross over to Engelbert, but Krajisnik just not getting to those 50-50 balls. They're a half a step to a full step behind. Here comes Roth. She's just going to feed that right back into the middle. Back out to Belinsky from Gale. Cornish. There's DeTaglia. Krajisnik doesn't have the touch so far tonight. Throwing back to Groth for Albany, and Albany starts going to work again. Krajisnik gets the ball up to Wrzinski. Here comes Mateo. Key with Mateo on the outside is an extreme shot. She has such a strong leg, and when she hits the ball, everybody in the town knows it. Albany able to save that ball down in the bottom. Cross to Chrysler. The ball goes out of bounds. So that was a beautiful play from Gappa. Gappa got all the way down into the corner, saved that ball, crossed the field, and there was Chrysler with a little volley, and she almost netted the first goal of the game. So Krajisnik needs to kind of wake up here and get this game going, because we're in the 34th minute, and they've only had 2 shots on goal right now. Here comes Brzezinski. Brzezinski coming all the way down, applying additional pressure, went right through the goaltender. Great play. Here comes Engelbert, right on the defenseman for Albany. Here comes Chrysler. Corner's coming back. There's the long switch. Mateo right there, but doesn't win the 50-50. Now Mateo with an opportunity. Albany right there. Barbero with the header to break that up. The ball goes right into Luxton. So they finally get a switch, but unfortunately they don't get the opportunity of a scoring opportunity or the shot on goal. Ball comes out mid-pitch. Here comes Engelbert. Benkeri, Reed. Here comes Mateo again. Mateo's now on the ball. Here comes Brzezinski. These girls are a little flat-footed tonight. Here comes Molly Reed. Mateo again with the lob. Here we go. DeTaglia right there. Shot on goal. Blocked by Albany. Zito in with the defensive play that kept that ball out of the goal. DeTaglia was ready for it. Great lob by Mateo. Ball comes in. Goaltender does not get to that 50-50, and the shot goes on goal, but Zito right there to make the save. Mateo getting ready for the corner kick. She walks off.
Number 70, Julia Deming entering the game, as well as Madeline Dennison, number 13.
So both Mateo and DeTaglia both subbed out. Krajisnik sending that ball right back in. There's Wazinski. Can she get a shot off? Oh, great save by Albany. Great save by Albany. Great reactionary play. Comes in. Deflection by Albany. There comes Wazinski on that replay. Unfortunately, she couldn't get the shot off. And blocked by Logsden. So Krajisnik starting to get things moving here. So Denning and Dennison come in for substitutions. Albany making all kinds of changes here. Number 2, number 18, number 19 all come off of the field for the Albany Alleycats. There's Belinsky to Page, playing real close. Dennison. So another scoring opportunity or another advancement of the ball down into the offensive zone as we hit the 39th minute here. Krajisnik really starting to ramp things up. That substitution might have woken them up a little bit. Wazinski all the way back. and offsides for Albany. She was offsides by about a country mile. So Roth fields that ball, goes all the way to Mateo on the far side. Mateo ready to go here. Nice ball. So Reimer playing wide. Ball comes back into the middle. Goth is on it for Albany. Here comes Dennison. Playing wide. Chrysler with the ball. Chrysler gets pressure from Dennison, so Krajisnik is really turning up the wick here. And here comes Denning. Comes from the top end. Brzezinski applying some pressure on the far side as well. For Ryan. Number 17 on the far side took that throw in. Chrysler trying to chip, but if they're going to do that, they need their forwards and their strikers to be pressuring that back defensive line, because every time they chip, there's nobody home. Here comes Dennison off of the bounce, uses her body, her tall height, comes up. You got Chrysler coming in hard, another through ball, but Denning is not ready for it. Krajisnik with the ball. Fighting right in the middle. Engelbert just playing like a monster out there. She is handling everything in the middle. Roth comes out again. Dennison on the far side. She's got two on her. Engelbert controlling the ball, passes across to Gale. Gale forgot the ball, came back, got possession again. Chips that ball to Dennison, but unfortunately too far, too high, and too long. So now we have another throw in for Albany. So Albany, Zito, who has that block, saved her goaltender as we hit the 42nd minute. Still a 0-0 match. Cornish right on Chrysler. Chrysler is a very, very quick player. They call an Albany throw-in. So Krajisnik is resetting right now. Cornish to Dennison to Belinsky. Engelhart. Oh, there goes Ava. Come on, Ava. Ava's running down through onto the far side. Takes a touch. Looking for that cross. Will she get it? She does get it. Longston is right there. Gobbled that one up. Throws it down into the turf. Rolls out to her outside midfielder. Mateo on the outside. Great play for Reed. Still trying to get that ball out of the backfield. So Bailey retrieves the soccer ball from the side. Looks like Mateo's going to get ready to take another throw-in. She can really launch a throw-in, so we'll see whether she plays it long. Great throw-in, hits an Albany player, but here comes Belinsky. Belinsky with time and space, goes out to Cornish. Even more time and space. Chrysler for Albany applies some pressure. Dennison tries to put the ball in the middle and connect that pass, but unfortunately gets interrupted and intercepted. Here comes Mateo coming down. playing defense. Great save by Roth again. Deflects that ball because Chrysler was right there. Dennison comes back, assists her defenders. Another lob in. Belinsky right there. Another shot on goal, and that one goes just wide. So playing out of the back. Here comes Belinsky over to Decker. Decker brought the ball up. Here we go. Krajisnik. Oh, and we have an Albany player that got tripped up by the turf monster. And ladies and gentlemen, that is halftime. So at the 45-minute mark, we have a 0-0 match. And Albany and Krajisnik playing like two first-place teams, regardless of the fact that one is in first place and one is in third place. A very, very close game. A lot of battles within the middle of the field right now. Krajisnik with not a lot of opportunities, but their opportunities came within the last few minutes where they were able to gather some shots and really got that goaltender out of position. So we'll see whether or not they're able to do that again and do that some more. So that way they can generate some scoring opportunities and some scoring plays. So for right now, we're going to take a little bit of a break here at halftime, and we'll be right back with our halftime festivities and ceremony from Center Pitch at Wareham Stadium in Herkimer, New York. Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need. Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need. Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
If I could please have the teams come to center field. Albany Alleycats and United Elite Krajisnik parents, thank you for coming tonight. Our game was to honor actually a person who influenced both of our teams, and she touched both of them. We're here today to honor one of our women's team's players that we lost last fall. Christine and her family came from Nova Scotia, Canada, to the United States in 2000 and established residence in Kansas City and New Hampshire in 2003. Growing up, Christine developed her passions for soccer, education, and embracing the experiences that life has to offer. She studied and played soccer at St. Anthem College and obtained her Master's of Education at Southern New Hampshire University, in which she used to teach high school mathematics. In addition to playing soccer often, Christine coached her girls club soccer of New York Elite, was the assistant girls varsity coach at Bethlehem High School from 2018 to 2022, and recently taught mathematics and served as the head girls varsity soccer coach at the Gilderland High School. One of your goalkeepers for the Albany Alleycats, Kinley Lawson, also played for her. So Christine played for United Elite Krajisnik for 3 out of our 5 seasons. She was included in our team who won the conference championship title in 2022. She assisted us in getting to the division finals all 3 years. She was not only a player, but she was a leader. She helped mentor some of the young ladies that you see playing tonight. Christine will always be part of our Krajisnik family. The club has purchased a plaque in Christine's memory. Unfortunately, her husband, Tom Rogan, could not be here tonight to accept it. But I will be meeting him in Albany next week when we play box soccer. So I'm here to introduce David Clayton, who was not only Christine's coach, but her head coach for the last 5 years. He will be accepting the plaque tonight in her honor, and it will be going to Tom next week. We also will be retiring her jersey number 19 tonight. So thank you for coming. I know Christine is looking down at us right now, and enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you.
So this halftime, a little bit of a somber one, remembering Christine Cochran, a wonderful human being, heart of gold. Christine, part of the Krajisnik organization as well as the Alleycat organization. And like most of us coaches who are involved with teams and organizations and clubs and leagues and everything that we do, at a certain point, if you're in the the coaching world for long enough, you find yourself in a situation where you have people there on the field that you ended up coaching. So she actually has a couple of players that play for the Alleycats right now that were part of her trainings and her studies and her development program. So it's amazing the impact that she had on the soccer world in so many different areas, in so many different ways. And she is truly missed by all in the soccer community, but especially by our Krajisnik players, our Krajisnik coaches, the board, and the members of the Albany Alleycats Association as well. So, Christine, we miss you, girl. Rest easy. So we're underway here in the second half. Quick 30 seconds in, and we're already having throw-ins on the far side. We are in a 0-0, 0-0 tie. As Krajisnik tries to generate some offense going the other way here. Great play by Belinsky, again, just manning the middle of that defense and just taking control. Mateo playing on the outside. You have Molly Reed on the short side here. And you still have Decker and Engelbert in the middle. Looks like Dennison is back out there. Krajisnik really didn't make, it doesn't look like they made any substitutions at this point. Everybody is still where they were. And actually, that's Paige Cornish that is playing out wide towards this side. Here comes Engelbert applying pressure. Cornish coming wide. Ball being brought up by number 17, Ryan. Intercepted in the middle. Mateo gets the ball first. And that was a big challenge. That was a really big challenge in the first half for Krajisnik. The ability to get to that ball first. Albany was out hustling the group as a whole and had plenty more opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net than Krajisnik had. Rzinski fighting on Chrysler. Chrysler getting upset, but handles her business. There's Belinsky clearing the ball out. And here comes Rzinski. Belinsky in the middle. Rayner in the middle. Applying pressure. Belinsky applying pressure on Albany. Albany bouncing the ball back out. Belinsky just come following it down. Cornish through. And off of the ball, or off of the foot of Chrysler. So, Mackenzie Roth will take the goal kick. Goes out short. Ball brought up by Belinsky, carrying into the third. Albany really clamping down and collapsing, playing a collapse-style defense. Chrysler with the ball on the outside. Looking for that through ball again. Intercepted by Krajisnik. And Wierzinski didn't, she was expecting that ball to come to the inside. Unfortunately, it goes to the outside. She doesn't get there. Krajisnik really having a challenge, a serious challenge, with trying to get the ball out of the back and through this Albany Alleycat squad. Both teams very evenly matched. Krajisnik with some more answers after halftime instructions from Dita. Here's Brzezinski trying to go through Chrysler, and they call a foul on her this time. But you can't find fault in that, and you can't get frustrated by that. Another through ball coming in for Albany. Roth calling for the shot. Blocked off by Belinsky. Another shot blocked off by defense. Roth with an amazing save. Flying through the air, blocking that ball down, keeping it in a 0-0 game. And a heads-up play by Cornish, being able to get that ball out of bounds so that way it is a throw-in instead of a corner kick. Quick throw-in for Albany here. Ryan taking control of those. Ball goes right through. Belinsky holds up, and Roth has control. That's twice now. Mackenzie Roth has had to go flying across the mouth of her goal to make sure that she blocks those shots. Playing a great game today. Krajisnik just simply not playing high enough with their strikers. Logsdon comes right back out. Here comes Belinsky. Belinsky, ball just a little too far away from her. She's right back in on it, though. Right now they are trying to control Chrysler, who was deadly and dangerous. Oh, great through ball. Here comes Brzezinski. Brzezinski with speed. Let's see if she can hit the cross. Pulls the ball back, waiting for her teammates to fill space. Right in the middle. Denning with the shot. Gets knocked down afterwards, and the ball goes wide. But finally, little flick play, little chip. Here's that cross into the middle. Denning goes wide, comes back out with outside foot, uses left to set it up, and the right foot shot, and it hooked just wide. Logsdon did not need to make a play on it, but at least it makes her think about what's going on outside of the 18. The other opportunities happen deep within the 18, within the 8-foot box. This one was outside of the 18. Krajisnik really needs to start playing a lot higher and press a lot harder with their strikers. Here comes Brzezinski. Brzezinski saves that ball, keeps that ball in. Back pass. Belinsky with the chip. Brzezinski there. Actually, Engelbert tried to chip that ball into Brzezinski. Referee called a foul down in the bottom corner. Here we go. Engelbert, ball right back into the middle. Lands on the foot of Denning. Denning powering through, using her strength. Ball deflected. Oh, Dennison was right there. She was on the wrong side of that Albany Alleycat, but they are starting. Krajisnik is starting to get their game on here. Now the counterattack for Albany. Oh, and they went right by the defense. The only one back there is Cornish. Cornish by Chrysler. Chrysler cannot handle the ball. Goes off of her chest. Chrysler with the fancy feet in the 18. Great defensive play again. And Chrysler survives it. Now they have the counterattack coming up. Ball from Mateo out into the defense. Trying to hit Denning. Here comes Goth coming up. Another pressure play. Oh, now we have another one, but that one's just too far. Krajisnik really applying some serious pressure. Here's Denning just powering herself right in between the two defenders coming down. Hits that ball, gets deflected by Langston. Langston's out of position. And unfortunately, Krajisnik was not able to get in there with Dennison and put that ball in. Here's a throw in from Albany. Brzezinski, I think her assignment is to be right on Chrysler when Chrysler is playing close. Trying to make her life a little miserable on the near side. Chrysler with the ball again. Krajisnik trying to figure out where they're going to go. There goes Cornish. Oh, Fed the ball down. That one's going to be easy for Langston, but Engelbert just trying to get some sort of a launch and some sort of a drive. Belinsky launching that one back in. Denning right there. Dennison on the outside. Here comes Dennison. She's got speed. And it's a Krajisnik throw-in. So Mateo comes in. Mateo with the lob, but nobody with the blue jersey anywhere near that ball. Krajisnik not doing a very good job of crashing down into the box tonight. They're not really causing any stress upon that goaltender right now on any of those free kicks or the throw-ins down into the 18 box. Here comes Cornish pressing. Here's Brzezinski. Was thinking about turning on the Jets, but now she's going to fill space. Ball goes over everybody. Cornish right there gets hit in the face. You know, sometimes, folks, put that ball out of bounds. Everybody can take a breath, reset, get ready for next play. Krajisnik right there with Denning. Brzezinski is playing back now. Really not. Krajisnik is not holding. Oh, now we have a breakaway. Chrysler coming down. Roth retreating back. Makes the save. No problem. Hit it right to the goaltender. Krajisnik again getting lucky on that one. Now here we go with the counterattack. Engelbert trying to put ball through right through the middle. There's Denning. We got 3 up top for Krajisnik right now. Referee gets in the way. Here comes Engelbert. Across to Gale. Going wide to Mateo. Off of Dennison. Mateo again feeding in the middle. Krajisnik not really sure where those balls are going. The team that is communicating the best right now is Albany. Another lob in. She is onside, but the ball will go out of bounds. And at the 11:45 mark, we are still 0-0. Boy, oh boy, this would have been trouble right here. That shot by Chrysler right on target to Mackenzie Roth, who eats that up. But boy, oh boy, did they dodge a big one right there. All night long, Albany has been chipping that ball in, or they have been hitting those through passes to their offensive front line. And it is imperative that Krajisnik figures out Chrysler, because she is the one that they are going to at this point in time. Dennison on the outside, looking for either a through pass. She's carrying right now. She's got long legs. She can cover a lot of ground really, really quickly. Looking for that cross. Hits the cross, went right to the goaltender. But even still, there's nobody deep in the box for Krajisnik right now. Dita's team is not playing deep in the box. There's nobody there to receive those crosses. So even if the ball went through, Brzezinski is nowhere to be found. Here comes Cornish. Cornish playing. Great save by Roth again. I tell you, Mackenzie Roth is keeping this team in this game. So Chuddy is going over to take the corner kick. Cross comes in. Roth right there. Another corner. So I got a couple of fans here. One of them is my kid down here eating candy canes from Christmas time. I don't know. These kids, as Roth makes another save. One of them is my outside midfielder for Team Venom, Miss Emily Salzberg, and then my kid sitting there, center back, star center back for our defense. I tell you, I don't know what to do with these kids sometimes. So Mackenzie Roth with the ball up at the top of the 8. She's been playing short the majority of the evening, and she does it once again. We really haven't seen Mackenzie's leg coming off of those goal kicks. Here comes Belinsky. A lot of pressure from Albany right now from Neville. Neville steals that ball, comes right back in. Krajisnik defense holding strong right now, but Albany right now with all but 2 players up in the offensive area, in the offensive quarter. Here comes Brzezinski coming back. That was a great play by her. Negated the opportunity for a shot on goal. So really good play. Ryan is going to take the throw in again for Albany. They touch Brzezinski right on the side. Ball goes out of bounds. It's an Albany throw again. Brzezinski and Cornish playing together down at the bottom, trying to keep control of everything. Long throw. Here comes Roth. She's got that one. First throw was dangerous. The corner kick was dangerous, but now we play short. Mateo right there. Long pass up. Dennison. Lob by Mateo. There's one blue jersey there. Dennison trying to hit it. The combination of Gale and Engelbert in the middle of the field tonight has had a lot of work of trying to control the flood of players from Albany coming right through, trying to generate that offense. They've been working their keisters off, working so hard. And then the defense is really holding their own. The 4 back there, with the exception of a couple of breakdowns with those chip plays, they've been doing pretty well. Here comes Cornish. She's got a leg to her too. Lobs that ball in. But they really have to communicate what they are doing, because right now those lobs are not connecting. That's the big differential. The lobs over the defensive line have been connecting for Albany and creating chances. The lobs for Krajisnik are nowhere to be found to a Krajisnik player, and it just results in a turnover. That's all it is. So Mackenzie Roth continuing to control the box. Mateo tying her cleats. She was doing it all the time when I coached her. Some things never change. These Krajisnik players are really working hard to try and generate some open passes through the middle. You got 3 up top now. 3D, almost going to a 3-3-3. Now Cornish applying pressure from the outside. Gappa, number 2, taking the shot. Roth has it. Roth is scanning the field right now, trying to figure out where she wants to be. There's that big leg. A lot of power behind there. Unfortunately, that ball right to Albany. We didn't win that 50-50, and those 50-50s are massively important to the success of this program. And Gappa on the outside crosses one in. Mateo is right there, and that one goes out of bounds. So as we hit the 19th minute, Krajisnik is, running rampant here. They've got a lot of energy on the field, but they just haven't been able to get a goal yet. So, in the broadcast booth, as Mackenzie Roth gets ready to go here, Coach Sarah, who also runs women's UPSL for our program here, did a beautiful job at halftime. Welcome her into the booth. She's got some information and some updates on the team. So, Sarah, how we doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Greg?
Oh, we're doing pretty good here. I'm waiting for Krajisnik to put one in the back of the net over here.
I know, it's way overdue.
It is way overdue. They can't buy a goal so far tonight, but we'll see. They still got another 25 minutes to go, another 25 minutes to go here, so we'll see what they can generate. Beautiful job at halftime. Retired number 19.
Yep.
Did a plaque.
Yep.
And that's going to be presented to Christine's husband, correct?
Yes, correct. He was not able to be here because he's on vacation tonight, but he really wanted to be here to do that. I'm so glad that we were able to honor Christine. She was such a talented and such a mentor for the girls that we played with, and we definitely miss her. So this was all about her tonight.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of interacting with her for when I just started sponsoring the women's UPSL program through the real estate and real estate company and the real estate brand, and just always warm welcomes, big heart. Even took time after we lost one of the games up at SUNY Poly, and she took a good 15-20 minutes and just had a nice conversation with my daughter, who's played for Krajisnik now for close to 10 years. So it's she always had time for players. She always had time for family. She was one of the rare ones. We lost a good one, that's for sure.
She was. That was one of her unique qualities, is that she always checked on everybody and made sure that they felt comfortable. She always wanted to make sure that everybody was all right over top of herself. She was just a selfless person who, definitely was a coach and a mentor and helped these girls immensely. And we definitely miss her for sure. Yeah.
So as we look, as Mateo's trying to bring that ball up, as we look at, we have the rest of the second half here. We've got a game against Fox Albany coming up.
Next Saturday.
Yep, next Saturday in Albany.
Yep.
Dennison goes right through the player. Yep, that's a foul.
It's going to be at Mahonison High School.
What is the scenario for the playoffs and everything between these two teams and the rankings right now, with Albany being in first place and Krajisnik being in third with 4 games each?
Well, I got some hot off of the press info because I actually just got an email today from our national women's president, who is my supervisor, because, again, I'm conference manager for the entire Northeast, which includes both of these teams. So obviously we have the 6 of us that are playing in the Western New York Conference.
Hold on, Sarah. We got a breakaway here. We got a breakaway for Chuddy. Chuddy crosses the ball in right into the middle. Great defensive player launching into the midfield.
What a good clear, Greg.
Excellent clear. That could have been really, really bad. Another one of those through passes that immediately turned into a breakaway after a missed stab. But as you were saying, Sarah, about the playoff scenarios.
Yeah, before I go on to just the experience that Emma Belinsky brings in that back lineup, I think just helped us with that breakaway, and obviously the experience Mackenzie Roth has. So thank God we got through that.
Yeah, those two. I mean, Belinsky she knows how to quarterback a back line, and she's the voice of that defensive line. And then, just like I always tell all of my goalies for all the teams that I coach, the goaltender has the best view of the entire field. So that's why everybody should always be hearing the goaltender all the time, especially directing the defense.
That's absolutely right, Greg.
Alleycats are ready to pounce here again. Ball coming out wide, Cornish applying some pressure. Ball coming into the 18, deflected, and right into the paws of one Mackenzie Rolfe.
So going back into the playoff structure, obviously the sticks up here in Western New York. So what they're telling me from the UPSL is that the first seeded team for our conference, so that's the team that has the highest points at the end of the regular season.
Breakaway by Rosinski. Rosinski coming down. Will she get a shot off? She gets the cross. Oh, and it gets intercepted right at the top of the 18. I tell you, these girls don't want to talk about playoffs because every time we talk about playoffs, there's a breakaway. Albany coming back up. Cornish on number 2 there, Chappie.
That breakaway was by Ava Wierzinski, who I know I'm partial because I also went to Herkimer, but she's going to be a freshman at Herkimer this fall, so that's exciting.
That's very exciting. She gets to work with Damon Nish and Nel Pajatovic.
Yes. She's had a Nell for a number of years, and the experience that she's gained from him has been tremendous.
Yeah, she's. I worked with Anel last summer with a second UPSL women's team. Another stab and miss by Decker. Belinsky comes in, ball's right in the middle. Oh, and Albany scores. Albany gets the 1-0 lead. Mateo was right there, didn't make the play. And we have a 1-0 lead for Albany at the 22nd minute mark. Breakdown in communication, another stab and miss by Decker. Ball came right into the middle for Neville. Neville with the deflection off of Mateo. The Krajisnik defender goes right into the bottom corner, and Roth is not able to get to that one.
That was unfortunate, Greg.
It was very unfortunate. Communication's so key, and not stabbing, running through that ball. Decker had two of those back-to-back, both of them.
Plenty of time.
Yep. Unfortunate, but here comes Rosinski again. She's controlling that ball deep in the bottom corner. Nice cross into the middle.
Maybe this is going to give them the spark that they need to score.
Well, it's got to have some sort of sense of urgency go off on the pitch and on the bench right now, because you're sitting at 27 minutes out of a 45-minute half. And it looks like DeTraglia is coming back on. Maddie Dennison is going to go take a break.
Yeah, Greg, Lydia's coming in. Lydia plays for Hamilton.
She's been a long time star for Krajisnik on the youth side, and here we go. Dennison coming through, can't get control of that ball. Nobody is tracking back. Here's Wierzinski, almost hit her. Gappa coming down. We've got a runner who called for it. Cornish is beat. Another cross over to they switched the sides of the field. So this is how powerful Cornish was down on this side, on the near side. Chrysler, number 4 for Albany, was playing on the near side against Cornish. Mm-hmm. She was getting beat up by Cornish. So the head coach for Albany switched her to the opposite side. Now she's playing against Mateo. So now we have a different player playing down on this side. Cross comes in, shot. So DeTaglia, right from the very, very onset of her coming back onto the field, she takes that shot and is trying to generate some offense for the team.
Lydia has momentum. She will try to shift our girls. She wants to win this game.
She is one heck of a fierce competitor. You look in the dictionary of fierce competitor, and there's a picture of Lydia DeTaglia. She is not a happy camper when they don't win a game, boy.
No, I get it. So hopefully I can squeeze in the playoffs this time before we get another breakaway. As I was saying, the team that has the highest score in the regular season, after the regular season, will be the first seeded team, and they will have I think it's a 1-in-7 shot of going to our national tournament in Kansas City on July 18th through the 19th. That's going to be our first very national championship tournament. What that will mean for the rest of us here in Western New York is that on July 12th and 13th, we're going to play a couple semifinals, and then we'll play a final right after that. So my conference has a decision to make. Do they play the semis on July 12th and 13th, on 12th, both on the 12th, and then try to squeeze in a final on the 13th? With those 4 teams, that would be seed 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or do we want to do the semis on the 13th and then do our final here for our tournament on that weekend of the 18th while the first place team is in Kansas City? So we could do that. And one of the reasons why the UPSL decided to do that was because they didn't want they wanted more games for the rest of the conference as well, but also you don't want anybody getting hurt that week prior to going.
Breakaway ball by Rosinski. Does she get the shot off? No, she doesn't, but she's down deep in the ball. Nobody there. She regains possession. DeTaglia up at the top. She gets ripped down by 2 Albany players. The ref doesn't call it a single thing, a single foul in the box. That's 2 of them that he's missed in the matter of the last 2 minutes.
That was exciting, Greg.
I'm telling you, we have the opportunities. Krajisnik is just not cashing in right now.
Yeah.
So any idea where the semifinal games would be played? Because in the past they've been played SUNY Polytechnic. They've been played, I believe they played here. Salongo is Pro Turf Field over in Utica. What's
a good question.
I
didn't think that.
She's like, Greg, you weren't supposed to ask me that question.
No, that's good. I really need to do that. Well, one of the reasons that we kind of leave it flexible is historically we've had the division final in Albany only because we are playing the New York City teams. So that's kind of a midway point. Albany has offered to host it again. Herkimer is a nice middle point. I think it kind of depends on where the teams are coming from. So for Auburn, this is probably a nice middle point. I think I want to see who's going to go first, but we have the opportunity to host it here or at Salongo or at Albany. I think are all great choices. So one of them will, or SUNY Poly is always a choice too.
Yeah, SUNY Poly has a beautiful facility right there in Marcy, New York, and it's a New York State school system, so collegiate system.
Yep.
So might be an opportunity for them again. But as for standing, so here's another inside play, but Roth is right there. She's got that. She's got that taken care of. Belinsky takes a tumble. But Neville is starting to wreak havoc in the back line for Krajisnik between Neville, Gappa, and Chuddy. They are starting to get those scoring opportunities.
Oh, no.
And another flubbed ball control shot. Oh. And that one goes well over the goal, goes onto the back hill.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes like that. Right to the side.
Here comes the replay where that first touch, and Neville was right there.
The touch is going to go out,
boom.
Greg.
So that ball has got to go out of bounds or out towards the sideline. Here we go with another launch. Here's ball going in, but intercepted. Ball goes out for a throw-in.
Now, one of the things I also want to comment about is that really the first place, the points are pretty, much all the same towards the top. We've all kind of beat each other. So what I'm hoping is that this could still be anybody's game in this conference.
So really, Krajisnik needs to handle their business both tonight and against Fox Albany next week. And Fox Albany is one of those teams in the bottom of the spectrum here, so in the bottom of the division. So it becomes a situation where if Krajisnik can take advantage of getting even here and potentially putting in a second one as we hit the 34th market. Here comes Mateo with a great ball in. DeTaglia right there. Deflection goes out, and we have a corner. Krajisnik generates a corner. Combination of Mateo and DeTaglia. On your screen right now, the differential between first and fourth is 3 points.
Yeah, that's anybody's game.
Yep. So Krajisnik really just needs to, they hold their own destiny. They've got to handle their own business. DeTaglia on the outside, commanding that ball. She is getting mauled by Chrysler.
We're seeing a little life in these ladies in the second half.
They are, and they had that spurt the last 7 minutes of that first half. They had that spurt and that fire, and started generating some scoring opportunities with the crosses coming through. Really, they should have 2 or 3 on the board right now, but between defensive saves and, Langston just being in position all the time, it's been tough for Krajisnik to get through.
Yeah, you're talking about the goalkeeper for Alleycats? Yeah,
Yes.
She's been excellent for them, for sure. Don't know, in my speech I did mention that Kingsley was a player of Christine's on their high school team that Christine coached. So this is a really special game for her too tonight.
Yeah, it's. I was saying that after everything was done at halftime, we've coached for so many years and we've impacted so many different players and things. To have, it just shows the spectrum of impact that she had as a coach. To have us be talking about her and have the goaltender on the Alleycats be one of her former players. It just shows the depth of her influence. Chrysler getting that through pass. Here comes Mateo. Mateo is always highly aggressive. Attacks that ball, puts her down.
Yeah,
and
no call.
Now comes DeTaglia. Alleycats trying to control the middle of the field. Here comes Cornish. She's trying to make adjustments here. Gappa. Oh, good touch. Another shot on goal, and Roth is right there.
Now, we're going to start. We see Dita Davion, the head coach for United Elite, standing up, and he's got to be thinking right now, like, what change do I have to make so that I can get this W? What do you think he's going to do?
To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I don't see very many substitutions there, but the one thing that I do see is that I believe that Dennison is tired. She's made uncharacteristic errors playing that center back, outside center back position, and 2 missed stabs. One of them resulted in the goal, and she's getting beat, and she right now she's holding on to a knee and she's bent over and she's trying to catch her breath a little bit. All those through passes that Albany makes a couple of substitutions here. All of the through passes that Albany has made right past the combination of Dennison and Cornish have really tired out Dennison. And you know what? Cornish too. Looks like she's about a half a step slower than she was at halftime. And we're only at the 37-minute mark. So some sort of an adjustment.
With the amount of subs that they don't have, I think a lot of players are going to get tired.
Yeah. They do not have the reinforcements.
Traglia.
They're
she doesn't look tired.
Yeah. She can go for days. I remember she got done with a game at North Star Cup a couple of years ago, and she gets off. I think that they ended up winning that year, and all of a sudden she turned to Mark Roush and she was like, "So, we're going to go to practice now because we're done. Everything got done in the morning. We're going to go practice tonight. And all the girls on the team looked at her like she was nuts. It was funny. But you know what? That's just her. Like, she's got energy for days. Never wants to come off the field.
Yeah, I know you mentioned Julia Dennison earlier. We're really excited to have her back tonight. So hopefully her and some of the girls on this team are going to get ready for their fall season. That's obviously, we not only want to win a national title, but we want to have these women have the opportunity to play so that they can be ready for their collegiate seasons. That's important.
Yeah, it's downtime is good for rest and recovery, but if you have too much downtime, then you got rust and you got to knock it off, and it just there's too much time that goes towards getting back to where you were to be able to continue your progression. So these UPSL leagues and UPSL games are very, very important, and it's great to put this together.
Yeah. Lydia Reamer had a very nice touch. When you're in this position, you've got to get to the ball first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here comes Cornish playing back. That one wasn't even close. So we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got to look at the United Elite bench. What are they going to do?
I personally don't think that Dita has an option here unless he puts Dennison back onto the field and potentially take Engelbert, pull Dennison, and put Engelbert back into that position where you've got another strong leg to feed people long, and then you have Dennison with height and speed as DeTaglia comes up. Trailing the play is Reimer.
Yeah.
And now there's finally a foul. Here's Reamer. The ref woke up. He got his eyes checked.
Is that the first call of this game?
There have been a couple of fouls, but not many. Not many. It's actually been a very, very clean game. And now we have a deliberate forearm to the back. Referee didn't call anything. The ball wasn't even close. And you know what? Not for nothing, but this guy, he ran the referee. He was head referee for the last men's game, and he did a terrible, atrocious job reffing that game as well. And now he's messing up this one for the ladies.
Yeah, the men's just a faster and sometimes a more physical game. Sometimes if you have a ref that is not that seasoned, it's tough.
Yep. Well, and it was blatant, like blatant handballs that were missed, all kinds of different things. Another shot on goal, as Roth has it, as we hit our 41, almost 42-minute mark.
Mackenzie Roth, what a cheerleader. Even last night she was texting the group saying how important this game was, and we telling them to hydrate, and that was important, and telling them that we needed to get the win tonight, and cheering on her teammates. So she definitely is one of our most passionate players.
Yes, passionate and also, true leader, through and through. She was that way when she was playing for our youth teams as well. Definitely a force on the field.
See, we can't even get it to our players.
So Engelbert getting ready for the next throw-in. I think she tried to throw it through the ground on that one. Mateo. DeTaglia plays back, goes wide. Back to DeTaglia. DeTaglia plays back to Belinsky. Smooth. Oh, and they called Mateo offsides.
Well, thank you, Greg, for having me. I'm going to let you finish up.
Sarah, thanks for coming. Thanks for taking care of the festivities in the ceremony at midfield, and good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, the ladies get into the playoffs, and we get to do a couple more broadcasts on the year.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure broadcasting with you all. Join you again.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
So Krajisnik, another through pass. Out comes Roth. hammers that ball down. Albany is turning up the wick here as we hit the 43rd, 44th minute mark. Corners blocks that, interferes with that opportunity for Albany. Another one-time cross into the middle. Belinsky and a lob out. Krajisnik just doesn't have the capability of winning this ball tonight on any of those 50-50s. Here comes Cornish on the outside. She's been playing hard all night long. Roth gets control of that ball off the shot by Vitimo. So unless Krajisnik can get a breakaway here and get one to knot this up at one within the next 30 seconds or so, it would appear that Albany is going to increase their gap on the season, offsides. Looks like they're going to increase their gap point-wise on the season, and Krajisnik is going to go into a must-win situation in Albany against Fox Albany. This would have been a really, really good opportunity for Krajisnik to take a victory tonight, because then they would have beaten Albany head-to-head. Ball coming up, being advanced by Gale. Gale goes wide to Mateo. Mateo on the outside. Now the spurt of speed, and ball goes out of bounds, and it's a goal kick as we surpass the 45-minute mark, so we are in extra time right now. Not too sure how much we have, but it can't be all that long. And that's it, folks. At the 45-and-a-half-minute mark, the Albany Alleycats come into Herkimer, and they take a 1-0 victory against the Krajisnik Football Club team, the women's pro team for UPSL. So now Krajisnik needs to go into Albany next Saturday, and they need to make sure that they take a victory down there, so that way they are eligible for the playoffs. A couple of different notes here for your youth programs. Livy Strong tournament is next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. Club teams play on Saturday. ASO plays on Sunday. So everybody register for the Livy Strong Soccer Fest. This is a great charity out of Whitesboro. Krajisnik is involved in the planning and implementation of this tournament. So club is on, see, I always switch this. ASO is Saturday, June 28th. Club is playing on Sunday, the 29th. Also, we have up here at HCCC the first weekend of August. All club teams, all travel teams, lend me your ears. United Elite Krajisnik Football Club is going to be doing their first summer tournament here at HCCC. You will be playing on the fields here, grass fields here, and if you're playing 11v11, we're trying to gain access to Wareham Stadium. Come up here for the Battle at the Hill, and register your teams to come up here and participate in that event. Battle at the Hill, August 2nd and 3rd, boys and girls, U10, U18. So all of that information is there. On these ads are the QR codes. You can scan the QR code. Goes directly to the registration page, and you guys can register your teams and be ready to go to come up here and battle against the best travel teams and club teams that are available in the area. So we welcome all teams. Everybody register, and let's get that done as well. Coming to the end of the regular season for the ASO program, good luck to everybody as they come into the last weekend. Whitestown will be going up against New Hartford tomorrow in New Hartford at the New Hartford soccer fields at 3 o'clock for the U12, U14 girls. So lots of things going on. Krajisnik continuing with the youth programs and the youth training. UPSL Academy is available if you're interested in talking to us about that. Either reach out to myself or the president of our club, Anel Pajatovic. So, folks, if I don't have the opportunity to do something with the semifinals or the finals for the UPSL women, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure for the second year in a row doing this for you guys. It's a lot of fun. These are great teams. These are great players. And big thank you to United League Krajisnik Football Club for allowing me to do my thing and do our broadcasts. Men are supposed to play against Binghamton here tomorrow night. That game right now is up in the air, so keep an eye on social media. But if we end up playing against Binghamton, come on out to HCCC, buy your tickets, $10 at the door, and come out and support that men's team who are fighting for a playoff berth as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, 1-0 loss for this women's pro team, but the playoffs are not out of question. All they got to do is go down to Albany and handle their business. So the lone goal for this contest was scored by Maisie Neville, number 11 from Albany. Great game by Mackenzie Roth. This game could have been blown wide open if she wasn't flying through the air like Superwoman. She did a great job covering the pipes. Defense from Belinsky. Dennison, Engelbert coming down and helping. Cornish on the outside, Mateo on the outside. That defensive group and middle group worked so hard tonight. Krajisnik just couldn't buy themselves a goal this evening, or else this would have been a completely different game. So for the last time this season, unless things change for playoffs, this is Greg Fanning, your local broadcaster for United League Krajisnik Football Club YouTube Broadcasting, saying thank you so much for a great season, for all of your support for this team, and I bid you adieu. Everybody have a lovely weekend, a wonderful evening, and keep your eyes peeled for the men's game for tomorrow night against Binghamton. Hopefully we come out and are able to play that match. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks so much, and I'm signing off.